Chevrolet Farms. It is Tuesday, July the 30th. Man, time's flying. I'm fixing to start back to school. Making these school years earlier and earlier. I have to go back to school next week, August the 5th. It's crazy, crazy. Anyway, I've been getting a bunch of rain here in South Carolina, which is a good thing. I want to be doing some hay cutting, but Lord has other plans, and I don't mind his other plans. So that's for certain. Gives me a little longer break. So excuse me, I'm a little bit congested. Got a little summertime cold here. So anyway, this will be my first ever Will It Start video. Got the little Massey Ferguson 1030 moved yesterday afternoon. Got it down here to my shed and my shop to where I can get in here and work on it some. Me and my wife took it side by side and pulled it down here, and then I took the skid steer and pushed it back in here under the shed. So, and I actually went ahead and did a little bit of work on it last night. Actually went ahead and got the new radiator installed on it. Luckily the hoses and everything were there. I pulled the hoses off and cleaned them out, or made sure they were cleaned out. The bottom one here, it was stopped up, so I did need to clean it out. The other two were good. So, but I wanted to check, make sure they were all good. I still got to attach it. I got to put me some bolts down at the bottom and get it attached, but at least I do got it on. Actually checked the air cleaner, and had to actually take it off to be able to get to the screw here, the clamp. So I ended up pulling the air filter off. And it actually looked good. I'll probably, if I get the tractor running, I'll probably go ahead and replace it irregardless. So, but that's an update up to this point. So I know the fuel tank doesn't have anything. I took a light and I looked down inside of it, so it doesn't have anything. My first move this morning, this thing doesn't have, it's got a spot for dipstick. It's right down in that area right there. Sadly, it is gunked up with some junk, so I'm not right at the moment want to stick anything down in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and loosen up the bolt on the oil pan just enough to where I can see some oil flow. When I see some oil flow, I'm going to tighten it back up just so I know there's some oil in the engine still. Probably not going to get, unless it's later on this evening. I'll try turning it over, hopefully this morning, doing some turnover with it, but will not be able to try to really crank it for the fact that I don't have any antifreeze to go in the radiator. So I probably will just try to see if I can get it cranking over a little bit. But as far as cranking it up, I'm not going to do that because, again, I don't have any antifreeze. I do need to clean, and I may not be able to do anything with it because this looks pretty bad. May just have to go ahead and order one of these, a fuel separator bowl, because that's got a nice little crack in it. So I hadn't noticed that, so may have to get a new bowl before I can do anything with it at all. But at least today, if I can get it, the engine turning over, if I can do that, then I'll have accomplished something, and then we can come back and do maybe a part 2 of this where we put fuel in it, put the fuel separator on, and that kind of stuff. So I guess part 1 of this may just be a getting it going, getting the engine turning over, and getting some things checked out, and going from there. So y'all hang tight. We're gonna see if this little joker will crank up. Go ahead and see if we can get this off and see what kind of shape it's in. Might end up pulling these fuel lines as well, just to see if there's some any kind of blockage in them. Hopefully there's not. I'll go ahead and get one of these ordered. So yeah, because this thing, it's in bad shape. Pretty bad shape right there. That does not look good. So that will be our first order of purchase right there. Will be a new one of those. Definitely, I can say that thing's pretty bad. It's got a little filter down inside of it. It's got that O-ring. It's got a filter, so I don't even want to come out. So I'll definitely look that up here in a little bit and see if we can. Let me just leave these lined like they are, and hopefully they're good to go. There. You know, my throttles are all good. Tried those yesterday. They're moving. The shut off, it moves. All that's movable. So, they're all good there. So I'm gonna get a wrench, open up this, crack the oil thing, and we'll see if there's some oil in it. Let's see what we got here. This actually is a split one. And of course, this tractor could be a 4-wheel drive. Ain't good. And there's no oil in it. This is my uncle. Just to drain the oil out of it before. Interesting. That ain't good either. It is not good. It is not good. I don't know about this, man. Makes me wonder a little bit more about the condition of the engine, since there's no oil in it. The radiator was off of it. And no oil really does make me wonder if there's something bad wrong with it. Alright folks, I put some oil in it just to give us some lubrication there, since it was after we checked the pan. There's no oil in there, so I did have a little bit of oil, so I decided to put some oil in it to give us some lubrication there. So we do have oil in it. Throw a fresh battery in it at the front. So let's see if she'll spin over or do anything. Yep, we got some lights. If you can see that, we do have some lights on the dash. Let me clean that off a little bit. And this tractor is showing 1297. Whether or not that's true hours, real hours, I don't know. I'm sure it is. If it stopped working, I do not know if it stopped working or not. My uncle's been passed away 7 years He's been passed away 7 years. This is 2024, what, 17. So, and I would say this tractor, it's been a good 10 years, at least a good 10 years since this tractor has ran, I know. So, he developed Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's runs in his family, and he developed Alzheimer's, and went downhill after that, of course. And like I said, I don't remember when this tractor was used last, so I know it's been probably at least 10 years. So, got a little bit of a horn blowing action. It's trying. All right, let's see. Oh, nothing. Not a thing on that at all. Okay. At least the work plugs, that works. Glow plugs, you turn it back to the left, and they do come on. Let's see what happens. See if the glow plug light's right there. Glow plug light's supposed to go off. It may not be working, it ain't going off yet. We'll adjust this length of time of this tractor not being in use, so yeah, still not getting anything. Of course, these tractors have actually do have a 12-speed transmission. Right here is your medium. This lever here is your medium, a high, and a low. I never even realized that when I was reading tractor data on this tractor here about a week or so ago. I always thought it just had the 4 gears and the reverse. I never realized it had a 12 gear transmission, but it does have a high, and that's all the way in high. Then you've got low, and then medium all the way down. That's actually right there. You won't be able to see it too dark. And then it has the 4 gears there, and it has the S position for start. You always have to have the tractor in S for it to start. That was one of the features of this tractor. So anyway, we're not getting any kind of motion off of that. So I'm gonna have to fiddle around with some of the starter components here then. So yeah, so I can get some wrenches these up a little bit, tighten, loosen, do something just to see what we've got. Make sure we got some good connections here. Hopefully the starter's still good. I'll do the battery. My battery's good because it's a new battery. Clean these connections up a little bit. Just make sure everything is good. Ain't gonna hurt nothing, that's for certain. Of course, showing some aids there. good. Put it back on. I don't know how much really I want to put into this, because it needs a few certain things, but again, I'm not sure if I'd want to dive into, if it has a starter issue, diving into new starter, getting one repaired if I can find somebody to fix it. Everything I've seen so far, stuff ain't very expensive for it. Seat's about $100. Looked into that. Dipstick, I did find a dipstick last night that I think will work for it, and it's $6 or $7. And you gotta get new oil filter and oil and all that. And luckily, again, we found the radiator, so things so far haven't been too bad from what I've seen. So yeah, if this starter don't want to do anything, and I reckon before I'd ever do anything with that, I'd hook the tractor up to it. Pull it around a little bit and just see if the engine was stuck or whatever. I reckon I probably should have done that last night, but didn't, because I'm pretty sure the last time whenever I tried this, I did get the engine to turn over by wiggling some of these wires and all. So again, the issue of it not having any oil in it, it's not a good thing. It makes me really think, is there something else wrong with this? My uncle's a fairly quiet fella. So when this tractor stopped stopped running, I'm sure I was probably out of college, but I wouldn't have. That's the thing of, I didn't know, I guess you could say. I didn't know that. I didn't know if the tractor quit for reasons, and I reckon if I'd have known, I could have maybe have inquired to him about, hey, why is something wrong with the tractor? Why'd you quit using it? That type of deal. So one of those things, I guess I should have asked some questions, but I didn't, or didn't know to ask questions, that type of thing. So all in a learning experience, I guess. So we'll see. So hopefully it'll do something. It would be nice to have the little tractor to running again. Considering again, it was first I ever used, the first I think he ever bought. So I was a young fella when he bought this tractor. So get those clean. Set this back up, see if we get anything this time. Still getting nothing. Okay. I end up having to do like some of these other guys do. Buy me one of them little starter button deals. Okay. Got a little dilly-dally there. I'm gonna dive into this a little bit more and I'll be back with you shortly.
The fan just turned on.
You got it pushed in though.
Hard to go. Make sure you watch the
Hey there guys, it's Ashley. It is about, I would say about a week later. This is Wednesday, August the 7th, 2024. Back out here, gonna work on the 1030 Massey. Up to this point in the video, you would have seen me working on, going through a few things. And as you noticed, we hooked the tractor up to my Kubota. Y'all didn't see me doing that, but you did see me pulling it with the engine turn. I had y'all set up where we could see if the engine in actuality was stuck or it was free and turning. So we do know that the engine is free. We pulled it one little bit and we pulled it another little bit, and so it is free. So that's where I'm at. I sort of left it after that. Like I said, that's been about a week or so ago. Ended up going out of town for a birthday party. Was gone for about, what, 4 days, I believe, 3.5 days. Yeah, I was gone for about 3.5 days. A little short vacation, I guess you should say. My cousin turned 50. She had a birthday party, and so and we started back to school on Monday as far as teachers going back in, and since then I ain't had no time because of course this is pretty much first week of August and we have this tropical storm that's here, and actually I believe it just started raining again. We've got I think it went out sort of to sea a little bit, and I think it's pushing back in back into South Carolina. So like I said, I feel a little bit of rain. So but I am gonna work on this a little bit. I did try the starter out, never got anything out of it, so I looked out on eBay, and I actually went ahead and purchased the starter. I found fairly easy finding the starter for this tractor, and so I got it. Saw different prices, they all look the same. I went with about a middle of the road price from a true equipment dealership. You know how eBay is, if you've done any dealings with eBay, there's some sketchy stuff on there like there is Craigslist, some of those other things. So I went with a tractor dealership. I got 90 days to return this if something don't work out. So but I did get started, and that's what we're gonna do, is throw the starter on there. I want to see if I get any spin out of the key on this before I move any further, because of course you know that we need the fuel strainer, and there's some other things there that we found that we are going to need. So now I was actually talking, like I said, we went to a party and we still got on the subject. The girl who had the birthday, this was her dad's tractor, and me and her spent a good bit of time on this little tractor when we were younger. And we started talking about that I'd pulled it out and we were going to start working. Her mama had told her that I was going to start working on it. So me and her husband started talking, and he said that before my uncle got Alzheimer's real bad, or the dementia, he actually asked him what had happened to this tractor, and he said, suppose my uncle said he think it locked up on him or blew it up or something like that. So I don't know. Like I said, we just wanted to try it, see what we could possibly do with it, see if it was going to be salvageable, and be able to get it running so some of the grandkids to my uncle, great grandkids, could possibly drive it around, whatever. So we could piddle around with it around the farm, doing some little odds and ends. So, but anyway, we're gonna try it. Like I say, I got 90 days on the starter here. That's why I bought it from a dealership. I got 90 days to return it. Something happens and I get some of this other stuff, get it to where it won't go. Hopefully that'll be within a 90-day period. Then I could possibly return this. So we'll see what happens. So anyway, I'm gonna set y'all up. I've already got this old starter loosened up. I've got the bolts already loose on this, so all I've got to do is unscrew. The bolt actually runs all the way through here, so all I got to do is unscrew the nut off the bolt, pull the starter off, put the other starter back on, tighten it down, put my wire connections back up, and see if we get any engine turnover. So y'all hang tight. Thought these were 1/2 inch, but they're not millimeters. That's 9/16. I did loosen. I pulled this all the way off, but then I tightened this one up because I didn't want any kind of moisture or condensation with all that rain. I didn't want that to get in. Possibly enough problems as it is. So I didn't want to cause any more, if you know what I mean. A little bit of a challenge here. You sort of have to work the bolt out at the same time you're working this starter all the way back up towards the engine. A little bit of a challenge, but we got her out. That's the old one. We'll go in with the new one. Go. Almost too short on those bolts. If it works, I might have to buy a little longer bolt. Let's see. See what happens. Did order me some books for this and got those in. I think I got those in maybe Monday, I believe it was. Yeah, I think they came in Monday or over the weekend one. So this came in actually, yeah, this came in while I was gone on a little trip. So, let's here ready for me when I got home. It was nice. Like I said, if this does work, I may have to get it. I can tell that there is a difference between the stock ones, the width there and the width there is a lot different, and these threads are actually threaded on this, so could possibly get me a screw or a bolt to come in from this side and it was the right diameter or the right thickness for that, and possibly work that out. So this hooker connection's up here now. And alright guys, got the new starter in. So, got the battery hooked up. Let's see if she'll do anything. Nope. Turn of the key. We got nothing. So unless we got something loose somewhere. Let me try something different. I know on a lot of these tractors you gotta have the, a lot of times you gotta have the clutch pushed in. It is, we are in S, so let's see if anything happens now. Nope. Still nothing. Okay. Well, let's try the old jump starter trick here. And we're getting nothing at all. Nothing. Well, I reckon now I'm just gonna have to do some wiring chasing, I guess. I don't really know where to go from here. Like I said, trying to short it, ain't doing anything. May have to try and buy me one of those little buttons I see a lot of folks using on some of these will it start videos. I get those little button things and hook up, and I may have to see if I can find me one of those and try it just to see if I'm getting some action there. Because jumping the starter ain't doing anything. I know the starter's new, it should be good. So I don't know. So I reckon it's gonna be some process of elimination. So anyway, I think this video is probably long enough now at this point. So I think I'm gonna end part one, I'm gonna say, of will it start? The Massey Ferguson 1030. Like I said, I'm gonna try and maybe get me one of them little starter buttons. That'll start off our next video. Maybe trace some wiring. See what I can come up with on this little tractor. So stay tuned. Appreciate y'all watching. Give us a thumbs up, like, subscribe, comment. All this rain stops. I'm gonna get in the hayfield. I got several hayfields ready at this point, I'm sure, with all the rain we've been getting, but just no time to get in the field, and all this rain, got yards of grass to cut and everything. So busy. But anyway, thank y'all for watching. God bless each and every one of you. I'll see you in the next one.